For the latest on the fighting in Gaza, let's bring in former Israeli ambassador to the U.S. and former member of the Israeli Knesset, Michael Oren. Mr. Oren, welcome.
Good evening to you both. Good to be here.
Fighting intensifying across Gaza. What's the latest from your perspective, sir?
Well, the fighting is very intense, and it's progressing according to schedule. But you have to proceed cautiously. We cautiously to minimize to the greatest degree possible the damage to the Palestinian civilian population, but also to our own soldiers. We lost 5 soldiers today. Particular tragedy for the Israeli people. The chief of the IDF chief of staff is a well-known figure in this country. I don't know how many Americans know who the head of the U.S. military is, but here it's a well-known figure. Our former chief of staff is Gadi Eisenkot. He's also a member of the government. He lost his son 2 days ago in fighting, and he lost his nephew today. Wow. So this is intensely personal for us. And so, yes, we want to release these hostages if we can get to them. We want to destroy Hamas. We have to destroy Hamas. But we also have to keep in mind that our children are out there, literally out there, fighting for us. And so we have to proceed cautiously.
Prime Minister Netanyahu this week warned Hezbollah about the danger of all-out war with Israel. What about the possibility of a two-front war?
It's real. It's real. It has been real from day one. And I'm not a spokesman for the government, and I've been a strong advocate of focusing Israeli military might to the north as well, because Hezbollah represents a threat which is roughly 15 times that of Hamas. Hamas maybe has 10,000 rockets, but Hezbollah has about 150,000 rockets. They are longer range, they're heavier, and some of them are quite accurate. They also have a terrorist force which is about 100,000 strong. And for the last decade, they've been busy massacring Syrians. They participated in the massacre of 500,000 Syrians. So if they're doing this to their own people, you can imagine what they do to our people. And we have literally 250,000 Israelis who can't return to their homes, both in the border in the south and in the border of the north. If we don't address the Hezbollah threat eventually, those people will not be able to go back to their homes in any way. Now that we know what these terrorists can actually do to our civilians, we're going to have to address it at some point. And whether we do it now or whether we do it in the future, the situation in the north is completely intolerable. You may remember back in 1962, President Kennedy was willing to go to a nuclear war to get rid of missiles in Cuba, all right, Russian missiles. Imagine what it's like for these people facing 150,000 rockets in the hands of a terrorist organization.
The White House originally said it did not want to limit Israel's response to the Hamas attack. More recently, it's been talking about the concern about civilian casualties. I'm sure a lot of our audience at home is wondering, is the White House preventing Israel from doing what it needs to do?
It is not. It is not. And sometimes the messages get a little mixed, kind of a good cop, bad cop. If you listen to John Kirby, spokesman for the National Security Council, he's very, very supportive. Matt Miller, the spokesman for the State Department, very supportive. But other people in the administration have come out and said that there have been too many Palestinians killed, which raises questions: what is too many? What is too little? From our perspective, even one Palestinian dead is too many. But what can we do? We're fighting against an enemy who's literally using these people as human shields, and that's just not that's not just a propaganda line. Our forces are fighting in Khan Yunis today. It's a city in the south. Underneath Khan Yunis are miles and miles and miles of tunnels, and they're booby-trapped. They're full of arms, full of weapons, and we try to move the population away from that area. It is very, very difficult. Nobody wants to see Palestinian and civilian casualties. And keep in mind, for us, it's not just a moral issue, it's a strategic issue. Because the more Palestinian casualties there are, the more people in the world, like you heard in the Security Council, will demand a ceasefire. And a ceasefire means victory for Hamas. It means that Hamas gets away with mass murder. It means those 250,000 Israelis will never be able to go back to their homes. So we have not just a moral interest, we have a strategic interest in holding down as much as possible those civilian casualties.
Michael Oren, grateful for your time today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.